Good morning, Paul Georgie from Allendale. It's August 26, 2010. Well, grain market's higher here this morning. We've got some macroeconomic buying across the commodity sector here today. Dollar is down, crude is up $1 right now. Stock market's also showing some signs of strength here and recovery here this morning, up about 39 points on the Dow index right now. But USDA did come out with the export sales here this morning. Trade in corn was looking for 650 to 1.4 million metric tons. Came in at 1.732 million metric tons. So definitely some good sales. But we expected that. We expected good sales because of all the announcements that we had last week. So may give us some support here for a moment or two, and with the strength that we had overnight, it was hard to find reasons why the market was up as much as it was, mainly because of just lack of any selling is what we found out here this morning. Other news: China Grain Network, the group that supplies information to the government on the amount of grain available, said that China corn output or production this year was going to be 165 million metric tons. Their usage is expected or projected at 157 million metric tons. So plenty of grain. That's a reason they've been marketing or selling their grain out of reserves so they can replace it with newer quality corn. So that's the story out of Russia or China here this morning. That actually, under normal circumstances, would be a bearish story. But we'll see how market acts here this morning. Overnight futures went up, tested that breakout point around the 424 area. Went a little higher than that, but that's going to be our critical swing point here today. If we go through that, close above it, I'm sure you'll see some more buying later on in the session. In the soybeans, export sales there, 750 to 1.1 million was expected. Came in at 991, so right in the middle of the range. Neutral report. Meal about the same, 75 to 250 was the estimate, and the actual was 174.7, another neutral number. Census crush came out also this morning at 7 o'clock at 129.1. Trade was looking for an average of 128.5, so in line there. Looks like with these numbers we're going to be able to meet the USDA's target on crush and usage, so pretty much a neutral number there, maybe a little bit on the friendly side, but usually doesn't last very long once the trade, once that information is announced. Weather doesn't seem to be a problem. Pretty normal weather conditions, seasonal weather conditions here over the next 10 days to 2 weeks, and some of the soybean growing areas should get some rain here starting in early September. In the wheat, 550 to 900 was the estimate on exports. Came in at 1.08, which is certainly a friendly number. It means that we did have some of these world buyers come to the U.S. to buy U.S. wheat last week. Very a bit constructive anyway. Should provide some support after the big sell-off that we seen yesterday. And also there's news in the weather forecast out of Alberta, Canada, that they're expecting a light frost here on Sunday morning. Could do some damage to some of the spring crops and the wheat crops up in that area, so we'll have to monitor that very closely. Russia, northern Russia anyway, is looking for some rain. And Ukraine is expected to get some rain. The southern areas, Kazakhstan and the Volga River Basin, is expected to not get any rain or very limited amounts, so they're still going to be in that drought situation. Big concern there is how much wheat is going to be planted, and will they plant wheat in the dust, and that's certainly a concern and may see some delays there. But we're actually still fairly early in that winter grain planting time frame. A lot of that happens in the September time frame. So expect the grains trade higher here this morning. The big question is going to be, are the funds going to participate here today? Yesterday they were sellers in many contracts, especially in the corn contract, and now we bounce back today. Do we see them come back in and be a buyer? That'll be the big market mover today, and something that you're going to have to watch for. Over in the cattle, cutout values were up 65 in the choice, up $1.04 in select. Cash cattle traded at 99 to 99.5. Again yesterday, very limited amounts of cattle trade. The north was traded as high as 157, but again very limited amounts. The packers are not real aggressive at these levels, and the feedlots certainly believe that they should be getting more for their cattle, as the futures contracts are at some very high levels and much higher than where the cash market is today. So the optimism is good at the feedlot level, and supplies of market-ready cattle are tight. So we're still got a standoff here. We do need to move more cattle here this week, however, so that could cause problems down the road if we do not move cattle. In the pork complex, cutout values were down sharply there yesterday, down $1.42, taking us off of these historic highs that we've been at here earlier in the week. The cash market's steady here this morning. Reports out yesterday afternoon, and looking at the numbers, August hog slaughter is down 7% from a year ago. Definitely a reason why we're seeing the strength in the cutout values, and it's been a great opportunity for the packers to build some excess margin here and some profitability during these times, because the cash markets have not been able to keep up with the strength that we've seen in the product here, especially going into the holidays. So some packers are going to need some more hogs here later in the week. Could provide some support for cash markets. Futures, however, trading still in a sideways range in the hog complex. We need to hold these this week's lows in order to maintain this positive look to the chart. So be monitoring that, and if you got any questions on that, give us a call. We'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. You can reach us at 800-262-7538. And also want to remind you, before I leave you here today, we've got just 2 days left to get your information in for the Allendale annual yield survey. We've had some excellent participation so far. The more numbers we get, the better the results will be. So please give us your information. Either call us, go to the website. We'll be happy to help you out. We wish everybody a very successful trading day. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Thank you.